I want to add one other thing to that video I just made. When they put that video up that no one should have had access to, like I said, if me and Gary couldn't access it, then no one should have had access to the video. When they put that video up to try to harm me, I contacted Gary. I left a comment and I told him that I see someone has put a video up trying to rehash our past. They messing with my head, so sometimes I can't get the words I want with that Boston Skull of technology and that other stuff. And like I said, all them patents out there gonna kill them. That Boston Skull patent and all these other patents of mind control is gonna kill them in the end. Trump's, all investigators, all people with it knowing about this CIA mind control programs, all that information is out there, so they won't be able to deny this. You understand what I'm saying? But that's why I tell you guys, that when these doctors ask you, do you have a mental problem, make it known that with all this Snowden, Julian Assange, and the government surveillance programs and the patents and the studies and the medical, let them know they couldn't be living under a rock without knowing this information. So don't let them press you and say, well, you're hearing voices. Tell them go, like I do, go look up that technology. Go look up them programs. Go look up them patents. So, again said I want to clear this up about Gary Larry. So when they put that video up, I contacted Gary Larry about the rehashing our past. And I told him that I always loved Gary Larry, but that Gary Larry I met at first wasn't the same Gary Larry at the end. But God can take out and put anything back in the person that he wants. And Gary Larry was trying to be a good man again. And I told him. I contacted him several times, and we were on good terms again. So they did me a favor by putting that video back up. And I always watched Gary Larry because he was giving good information too. But, there we go. So I'm going to go somewhere else. But, like I said, I continued to watch him. And a couple of months ago, I noticed that he had gotten sick. Number one, he was supposed to came down with the coronavirus, but the doctor told him it was pneumonia, which is the same thing. Same thing. Pneumonia and coronavirus, same thing. It causes respiratory problems. Flu, respiratory problems. Ebola, respiratory problems. All these viruses, all was called respiratory problems. Now I'm going to run through this real quick. They've been trying to do this to me for a long time. When I was young, when I was having my babies in my 20s, for 3 years in a row, I wind up with walking pneumonia. Back then, walking pneumonia will kill you suddenly because they say you have pneumonia, didn't know it, and you just suddenly died. So, twice when I went in the hospital to have my baby, I wound up in intensive care with walking pneumonia. So, same thing. They just modified. Mutated. But, as I was saying, I think Gary's dead. I really do. I've tried to look him up. Every one of his videos is gone. It's like he never existed. And now we know they've done this in the past, shut down people's websites. But Gary was getting sicker and sicker, and his viewers were commenting that they were worried about him. They even asked him, where was he? And now he's gone. I've seen death so many times, in these situations. But I'm not worried about Gary because, as I always say, God's people will come back. If they're not already back, better than ever. You know what I'm saying? Like Socrates said in Rome, in Athens, when the Pharisees and the Sadducees said that if you don't stop talking about one God, we shall put you to death. Socrates told him, he said, you do not know what death entails. He said, you might be doing me a favor by killing me. He said, so, and they killed him. They killed Socrates. Those Sadducees and the Pharisees, which were lawyers and counselors. That Roman church. So, if they killed him, they probably did him a favor. Because God people come back even better than they were before. Nothing happens without God's will. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is outside of His will. So, guys, I just want you to know, I love Gary Larrabee. I loved all the people I've met along the way who were now dead and not God. There's one person I haven't talked about yet, and this guy named D that I met when I was in San Diego, who they took. I don't know whether I'll put it up soon, but one day I'm going to talk about D, who was a very, very good guy, who died in front of me. All right, guys, I love you. Stay prayerful. And keep praying. Don't worry about a thing. Don't have fear. God's got us. He's got our back. And no matter what happens, He knows the terrain. He knows the traps. He knows what's best for us. I love you.